All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And even though this is being uploaded on Wednesday, August 16th, this is covering news from, well, Iraqi news, I should say. News from Iraq for Monday and Tuesday, so that would be August 14th and 15th. And it's boring news, but good news. Again, boring news, but good news. So, well, let me just say, for the YouTube, anything that I display or discuss is covered under Fair Use Act because it's for commentary, criticism, sharing, teaching, whatever. Um, yeah, so there's that. And um, if you're listening only and you want to see the articles, all the articles that I'm going to talk about are posted on the blog. And the blog is at my FX, that's F as in Frank X, buddies .blogspot.com. And you go there and it pulls up the current day. But over to the right, there's a drop down arrow and you can hit 2023. I've been doing this blog for years. Let's see if it says 2015, because you know why? It was only supposed to be for 2 weeks. And there was a group that was like, well, we don't have access to, well, anyway. But anyway, yeah, so this was only supposed to be for 2 weeks. And so yeah, here we are, however many years later, still doing it. But it's just grown now, and technology is, um, dare I say, better. But the places will say, hey, we can add you to such and such. Would you like to be added to this site? So I'm like, yeah, sure. Add me to that site. So, it's getting to more places. But anyway, so, all right, Spotify.com. So if you want to see the video that I'm making, you still won't be able to see the full articles. You'll just see what I point to. Like, I'm going to say, here, look at this. See this? There's a video, and the video is at Spotify.com. Also, my FX Buddies, RSS.com, is a podcasting site, but they allow you to, or they don't allow, they make a transcript. They print out the words. So if you like that, then you can go to rss.com. Also, my FX Buddies. Find it there, and somewhere there is a transcript for each episode. All right, so let's get ready. So, I just picked this title: Will digital banks lure cash from under Iraqi mattresses? Because some of us know, the bulk of their money is held in their homes. The Iraqis don't trust the banks, so they're saving dollars, but mostly dinars, and they save them in their homes, so that's why they say they're under the mattresses. But before we get to that article, I thought this was hilarious. Hot dog on a stick to open 10 units in Iraq. And some of you don't know what hot dog on a stick is, but it's literally a hot dog that is deep fried in kind of like a pancakey, I don't know. Some people say it's supposed to be cornbread, but it's sweet. It's a sweet, to me, it's like pancakey, but it's fried. Yeah, and it's on a stick, and you dip it in mustard or ketchup, and it's delicious. Well, I don't eat hot dogs anymore. But back in the day, oh my gosh. And then they served this lemonade, fresh lemonade, right? Because you could see them squishing the lemons and adding the sugar, straight up sugar. Now I'm sure they probably have all kinds of diet this and that. But yeah, so that is what we export to Iraq. Um, Hot dog on a stick. But anyway, I think that's hilarious. All right, so here's the article. Will digital banks lure cash from under Iraqi mattresses? And there's the 10,000 note. So let's see. In Iraq, years of economic and political instability have created an environment of mistrust that is leading many to avoid depositing their money in banks. The preference is to store cash at home. So here, cash remains king. Iraq is home to 7 government banks, 50 local private banks, and 40 commercial banks. And the people don't trust them because of corruption, smuggling, and that's been happening since 2003. So, yeah, and they interviewed a person here, and he thought of the thought of depositing money in banks is very worrisome. I prefer hoarding cash at home. Now remember, he's speaking in Arabic, but this is translated to English, so that's probably not the exact words. Hoarding. Who uses that word? I don't know, but yeah, so then they say there's approximately 76 trillion Iraqi dinar in circulation, and about 1/5 of that is deposited in the banks. So most of it is in their homes. And so what do they tell them? Holding that paper currency, it could be damaged, it could be lost, or it could be stolen. So you should put it in the bank. But I believe they're still waiting for certain laws to pass, which will pass when they change the rate. And then they'll feel a little more secure. Prospect for the rise of digital banking, and then they go into that. But you could read that. And waiting for e-payments, and they were waiting, and with the power going out, right, how reliable are all these digital systems? And still not every business or not every place that you can spend money has the digital payment system. So they're trying to lure them in with that, but it's not readily available. All right, this was a good article. Al-Nusari, he is the advisor to Association of Private Banks. The battle for the stability of the exchange rate with speculators in the black market will end with the recovery of the dinar. Wow. Why can't more people say that? But the only thing, there's some words in here I don't like. He says that controlling the dollar on the black market will end with the gradual, see that? Gradual recovery of the dinar. So, there's people who believe the rate's gonna float, and I don't want to believe that. I want it to just be instant overnight, $3 plus. But, it is what it is. I like the verbiage in this article where he's talking about that. And he ends it with saying the they have their reserves right now exceed $113 billion, and that its purchasing power is gradually, there it is again, recovering. And he's talking about the dinar. And in addition to being an essential pillar of national sovereignty. So he doesn't work for the CBI, but he's a very important guy to the CBI. He hangs out with the let's see, executive positioned employees, I'll say. And he probably knew Shabibi. Yeah, so I just wish they would listen to him more when he prints articles like that. All right, let's see. Here's another article. The Kurdish bloc says legislation of oil and gas law will grant the producing provinces rights. So that law, again, is governed by the Constitution, and that's what they want. They want what the Constitution says. All right. Iraq's neighbors are the biggest beneficiaries, and economist rules out the chances of a simultaneous solution to the dollar crisis. So this guy is saying things are so expensive that the imports are cheaper, right? And so people are buying the imports. Also, it seems like they may be doing like an arbitrage where they're coming out of the country, getting dollars perhaps, and going back and selling it cheaper. But they list, I think they list three of the quote unquote neighbors. No. Uh-oh. The lights are flickering. The power might go out. Anyway, so yeah, so that's another issue causing the dollar to rise, right? So that's another thing they're saying they need to get their hands, not get their hands on, get handled, and that will help the dollar get back to the official price of 13.20. All right, this is good. Baghdad checked the employees' data. The region will receive its budget soon and with retroactive effects. So they're still saying, hey, we haven't got our money from the budget, but it's been approved, it's been agreed on, and soon it will reach us. But we know how soon is, and it's going to be retroactive. So that means lots of money coming in. And they reference the articles in the budget that says that. So that's good to see. Okay, here's an article. Well, there was a better one, but I got this one. It's an article about Article 140 that they're promoting 1,000 transactions that should be complete within months. So remember there was an article yesterday or over the weekend that said it just needs to be amended. It's already approved and everything. So there they are already telling people, hey, we have 1,000 transactions that are ready to be compensated. All right, and here's my one commercial. Do you or someone you know own a business that remained open during COVID? You probably qualify for your employee retention credit. So if you go to the blog, you could just click this link here. But if you don't, you can visit yourerchere.com and see if your business qualifies. And if you'd like to earn some extra income, if there really is such thing as extra, right? Then you can go to the blog and click here or on this image here and join us. And you too will be able to offer that. All right, back to the articles. So here, advisor to the Prime Minister, a different one, not Mohammed Saleh. He is the advisor of investment affairs. He said, hey, there is major investments awaiting the country. He talks about the development fund, and they need to implement some things within specified time periods, and it will attract investment. They need to get the labor market moving, and let's see, this sentence is the last sentence. It's pretty long, but if the projects are implemented by the specialized local effort, they're now touching the world in implementation and specifications, and this matter is attributed to the real Iraqi private sector. And if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that as long as I've been in this, they've been talking about changing the rate and activating the private sector. And so here we are looking like we're getting close to them activating the rate. And they're again talking about activating the private sector. Here is here's just an article, but here's the title. It will not be passed unless on condition a parliamentary dispute obstructs the industrial investment law. So you see why I say there's some laws that need to be passed or implemented or activated, whatever, that need to go in sync with the rate change. And here's the last sentence. He added, the law is still under study despite its first and second reading. See? So I don't know if it says the year. What year? No, it doesn't say the year. But we're at 15 minutes. All right. Yeah, this should be a short one. A shorter one. So here's my favorite. What is he? Revolutionary Guard General Ismail Qaani. He's back in Iraq. Gee, I wonder why. Why is it that every time Iraq is doing things, making, reading over laws, doing things for the country, he shows up? But you know what? It's not even a secret anymore. It's not even a secret anymore. Qaani met in Baghdad to discuss two important files. What could those be? And to confirm the coherence of the coordination framework after the local elections. And if you just need a little reminder, the coordination framework is totally Iran-backed. That's the one that Maliki is on. And they had a bit of a fallout. I don't know what, because I'm not really following. I kind of glance over the election articles, but I did see that. So there he is. He's probably whipping them back into shape, saying, hey, we need to keep control of this country, so you better get it together, right? But anyway, yep. So also a high-ranking Iraqi delegation, which included the Ministries of Defense and Foreign Affairs, visited Washington, D.C. earlier to negotiate several files. So was he privy to that information? I bet he was. They probably said, hey, we went to D.C. and look what we talked about. This is what they want to do. How do you feel about that? All right, oil expert OPEC will not allow prices to exceed $85. So I just wanted to show you this because for years I've been saying oil is manipulated. How can they make a comment like that? If oil, it really goes by supply and demand. How can anyone say we won't allow the price to exceed this or get below this unless they manipulate it? And I thought this article was very interesting. And I think this is the last article, but then I'm going to show you. Here's that video. Remember I said I was going to put that video? So, okay. Study expectations of an increase in global wealth by 38% by 2027. Okay, so I don't like that number, but this was in Reuters, but they decided Iraqi News decided to run it. And it's saying that wealth is going to let me see. Grow, accumulate, expected to increase by 38% by 2027, largely driven by emerging markets. Yes, I know it's backwards, but is Iraq an emerging market? I believe it is. It's probably still a frontier market, but it won't take them long to move up from frontier to emerging. But yeah, so why would they be showing their people this if they're not? They also mentioned the BRICS. If they're not planning for them to see some wealth, I would be mad. Don't be telling me about the rest of the world's going to be wealthy and I'm not. But so that's just a short little, but it says further increases in emerging markets are also expected to reduce global wealth inequality in the coming years. So, like, we're hoping to become millionaires. People in Iraq are just going to live better. Well, I'm sure they're going to figure out somehow to become millionaires too, but at the very least, they're going to live better. Okay, so here's the article, video. It won't play. Okay, but I have it here. So, I just wanted you guys to see how they get the money in wads. So if you want to go, see, look at that. How they're banded together. Now right there, they're showing our beautiful $100 bill. But they will show dinar. Hold on. There's the dinar. Look how quickly they showed that. Let's go back. I have to pause that. Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at that. So those are dinars. See right there's a 25K note. So they break them up. See, these over here are smaller, but they do get some that are, sometimes they're 4 inches thick. But I have been noticing in the pictures maybe they're 2 or 3 inches thick. So yeah, it's kind of obvious, right? You're walking around with a big old wad of cash like that in your pocket. But anyway, so if you go to the blog, remember that's my fxbuddies.blogspot.com. That is at the bottom. But here is what I was able to translate. The title of the video is "The Government Expresses Hope that the release of budget funds will contribute to lowering the price of the dollar." Then there's other sentence. It acknowledged that currency speculators have long experience and fraud methods dating back to decades. This person, oh, that is the Basim Awadi is the government spokesperson. The government hopes that the release of budget funds will contribute to lowering the exchange rate of the dollar in the parallel market. All right, so let's just do a rate check right quick. Okay, I'll make it bigger. So 1286, the dinar USD to IQD. Currently, oh, you can't see, or maybe you can see that. It is 3:38 a.m. in the morning where I am. 1286. Let's see what the Google has. 1313. Oh, 1313.55. What an interesting number. And let's check the CBI. I'm sure it's still at 1310. Yep, 1310. All right. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, it was pretty boring. I try to make it entertaining. But it's still good news, forward movement news, even though it doesn't say we're going to the bank tomorrow. Um, yeah. So accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Pay all your bills. Don't miss any meals. And thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate the new subscribers. And if there is a subscriber join or whatever button where you are listening, watching, or whatever, click that because I don't post regularly. But if technology works as they say it will, when I do post an update, you'll be notified. All right. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this. And until next time.